Hello, good to have you with us on Red Barn Radio. I'm Brad Becker. This is season number 19 of Red Barn Radio, and tonight we welcome you to show 719. Yeah! Here at Red Barn, we continue to keep our staff and our musical guests safe, adhering to state and local guidelines concerning cleanliness and personal protective equipment. So for now, folks, you, the online viewers and radio listeners, are the Red Barn Radio audience with 100% of our attention. This evening, we bring to you Josh Merritt. Josh is a native of Owensboro, Kentucky, where he inherited the grit and honesty essential for any good songwriter. Having spent the better part of the past decade honing his chops on the Southern tour circuit, Josh has his own debut studio release now, Reynolds Station, a stirring collection of autobiographical songs that recount his tumultuous childhood in his western Kentucky town, which was also a hotspot for the amphetamine epidemic that ate away at so many rural communities. But we'll hear more about that later. Please welcome for now Josh Merritt to the Red Barn Radio stage.
Run as fast as you can. Run away from that man. Things done turn bad. Now there's nothing left to do but run away and don't look back. But if you gotta steal the car or you need to steal the bike, run as fast as you can. Take clean out of sight, make your way through the night. I'll help you if I can. Run away from that man. Don't look back.
Don't look back.
It don't matter, everything you want is in a laundry sack.
Yes, it is.
Please, don't stop now.
Don't stop now.
Yeah, you halfway through Hancock County with the pedal down.
That pedal down.
But if it's gotta be alone, or you need to phone a friend, make your peace with this place. Freedom's just around the bend. Here's some money I can lend. I've been saving in a coffee can. Run away from that man.
Run away from that man. Oh.
But if it's gotta be alone, or you need to phone a friend, make your peace with this place. Freedom's just around the bend. Here's some money I can lend. I've been saving in a coffee can. Run away from that man. 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 Thank you very much. Woo. See here. Do a little how many times?
Good evening and welcome to Red Barn Radio. Wherever in the world you're listening, welcome to Roots Music Southern Style. Thanks to WEKU, Red Barn Radio's official radio partner, NPR for Central and Eastern Kentucky. Listen online at weku.org. Red Barn Radio is supported by Visit Lex, Lexington, Kentucky's Convention and Visitors Bureau. More information on what Lexington has to offer is at visitlex.com. LexArts, Lexington, Kentucky's premier cultural development, advocacy, and fundraising organization, working for the development of a strong and vibrant arts community as a means of enhancing the quality of life in Central Kentucky. Follow Red Barn Radio on Twitter and like us on Facebook. Here's the host of Red Barn Radio to tell us more about tonight's performers.
This evening, we're here on Red Barn Radio with Josh Merritt. This 30-year-old singer and songwriter possesses a knowing intellect and a bold and assured delivery. The influence of Kentucky's rich musical tradition is apparent in both his solo and ensemble work, and I think you'll find that Josh's music is both emotionally raw and eminently accessible. With Josh tonight are Chris Lee on drums from Owensboro, Jared Green on guitar from Hartford, Kentucky, and Cynthia Murray doing backup vocals, and she's from Dale, Indiana. Welcome back, Josh Merritt and his band, to Red Barn Radio.
Well, is there any action I can take to bring you to my world? Sometimes I stop to buy some time with a so lonely girl. She sells it by the ounces, and the weight is always light. If I have enough, chances are that I won't sleep tonight. So I put some on the table and I dress up for the town. Well, I pull myself a rail and then I take the first one down. I can always find some time, I've got her number in my phone. But time ain't the kind you wanna do alone. How many times can I fall down on my knees and cry while I'm feeling high? Oh, so dry, well, I will watch the whole world pass me by. And I'm floating like a barrel, and I'm praying like a saint. And how many times can I be what I ain't? If there ever was a reason that I should keep off to myself, well, I'd like for you to tell me why you set me on your shelf. What kind of dark and magic really is it that you use? You make me want to scratch my face. You make me have to choose. And I've never wanted anything the way I've wanted you. And if believing is the puzzle piece, but your tension is the glue. And just before I limp away and reconcile the pain, you swoop in like a cloud and make it rain. And how many times can I fall down on my knees and cry while I'm feeling high? Oh, so dry, well, I will watch the whole world pass me by. And I'm floating like a barrel, and I'm praying like a saint. And how many times can I be what I ain't? How many times can I fall down on my knees and cry while I'm feeling high? Oh, so dry, well, I will watch the whole world pass me by. And I'm floating like a barrel, and I'm praying like a saint. And how many times can I be what I ain't? And how many times can I be what I ain't? Thank you guys for having us, man. We really appreciate it. I want to say it's a great honor for me to get to be here, man. It's a program that I watch often, man, and it really does mean a lot for you guys to have us here. So thank you very much for that. This next song is called In the End. Seven miles from Bowling Green, some college bar, this same old scene. Rolling into town in an Astro van. And I chose a life playing guitars, cheap motels and shotgun bars, and every night the same old five-piece band. And I know you've gotten over me, you're happy now, yes I can see. Wished I'd have did things different now and then. Yeah, and you should know that you were right. There's nothing left, not even fight. I walked this lonely road until the end. And I chose the bright lights over you, and I'm bluer than I've ever knew. Laying here tonight, I miss my friend. Guess that I got what was coming in the end. This old van still gets us there. You think we live without a care, the lives that we gave up to get on down. Oh, the sleepless nights, the guitar twang, the whiskey we think helps us sing, searching every day for a brand new sound. And you should know I think of you, you're here in everything I do. Wished I'd have did things different now and then. Yes, and you should know that you were right. There's nothing left, not even fight. I walked this lonely road until the end. And I chose the bright lights over you, and I'm bluer than I've ever knew. And laying here tonight, I miss my friend. Guess that I got what was coming in the end. You should know that you were right. There's nothing left, not even fight. I walked this lonely road until the end. And I chose the bright lights over you, and I'm bluer than I've ever knew. And laying here tonight, I miss my friend. Guess that I got what was coming in the end. And I got what was coming in the end. And I got what was coming in the end. Thank you very much, man. Lordy. I wrote that song a long time ago, man. We've been playing that one a long time. I wrote it right after I started playing music, and I was going out to play one of my first shows after I'd made a decision to sing songs for people and try to make some money to pay the light bill with. And I left a relationship to go do so because she wasn't into somebody that wanted to spend their time in places I wanted to spend my time at. And I went to go play my first show after doing that, and it was awful. It went really bad. And the whole way home, I thought I was very woe is me. I was like, man, did I make the right decision? I don't know. I think I'm still wondering that. This one's off my new record. It's called Live With That. Oh, welcome to my house, yeah. Welcome to my house, yeah. Oh, yeah. So don't you wanna get live with that? Put the money in a big old stack. Well, there's no doubt money make a man act funny and say that that's a matter of fact. Run me to the queen of the trap. Them 32 a Hyundai stack. Well, the clock struck 1 and we were rolling in funds, but you gotta keep your head on track. Now get back. Young sister Jenny, she came home. A friend said we got to get together at 5. She said I got enough cash for a 1,000-mile dash. Get your ass in the car, let's drive. Give the money money they gave me to try to help save me. I think that we can double again. So 15 grand on the broken right hand. Hit the go fast, pedal less spin. Don't you wanna get a life with that? Put the money in a big old stack. Well, there's no doubt money make a man act funny and say that that's a matter of fact. Go draw me to the queen of the trap. Flip 30 to a Hyundai stack. Well, the clock struck 1 and we were rolling in funds, but you gotta keep your head on track. Check us out. Well, the plan was to win, so we did it again, but we thought that we'd be doing better. But the powder she was buying and the noodles she supplying, keeping everybody under the weather. Now having got first and left with no choice, we were doing what we got on credit. That's a dangerous feeling when the people who were dealing are the ones ending up in debt. So don't you wanna get live with that? Put the money in a big old stack. There's no doubt money make a man act funny and say, well, that's a matter of fact. Go draw me to the queen of the trap. Flip 30 to a Hyundai stack. Well, the clock struck 1 and we were rolling in funds, but you gotta keep your head on track. Now get back, whoa! Don't you wanna get live with that? We'll put the money in a big old stack. Well, there's no doubt money make a man act funny and say that that's a matter of fact. Go from me to the queen of the trap. Flip 30 to a Hyundai stack. Well, the clock struck 1 and we were rolling in fun, but you gotta keep your head on track. Now get back. Stack. Well, there's no doubt money make a man act funny and say, well, that's a matter of fact. Go from me to the queen of the trap. Flip 30 to a Hyundai stack. Well, the clock struck 1 and we were rolling in fun, but you gotta keep your head on track. Now get back. Thank you. Let's go live with that. I wrote that song about a story my mama told me. It's not a story most people's mama would tell them, but it was a story my mama told me. Oh, man. This is a lot of fun.
I'm having a good time. Yeah. I love it. Yeah.
Chris, you all right back here? You good, baby?
Looks fabulous.
This next one's called Is It Just Me? 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I know what this is. I've heard it in songs, seen it in romantic films. Well, I've got to know, is it true? Is it just me, or do you feel it too? Is it just me? Lord, as time fly by when we're together. Is it just me? Wish that it could be like this forever. Do you think that I could be the only company you'll ever keep? But I'll be falling in love, or is it just me? I hesitate to give this thing a name. 'cause I'd feel pretty silly if you said you didn't feel the same. But the only way I'm ever gonna know is just to come out first, let my feelings show. Is it just me? Lord, as time fly by when we're together. Is it just me? Or do you wish that it could be like this forever? And do you think that I could be the only company you'll ever keep? And are we falling in love, or is it just me? And nobody wants to be the only one that's falling. Well, head over heels until you find out you've been crawling. I can't leave my heart to gather dust on some shelf. But I don't want to be in love all by myself. Is it just me? Lord, as time fly by when we're together. Is it just me? Do you wish that it could be like this forever? And do you think that I could be the only company you'll ever keep? And are we falling in love? Is it just me? Or is it just me? Lord, as time fly by when we're together. Is it just me? Or do you wish that it could be like this forever? Well, I wish you'd answer me. From the cover of this magazine, are we falling in love, or is it just me? Playboy Bunny, are we falling in love, or is it just me? Are we falling in love, or is it just me? Thank you, guys.
Hey, our guest this evening on Red Barn Radio is Josh Merritt. Josh is from Owensboro, Kentucky. He's here with Chris Lee, who's playing the drums, Jared Green playing that nice acoustic guitar over there, and Cynthia Murray singing the beautiful harmonies on these tunes. Nice job, you guys.
Very much.
Sounds great. And Josh, welcome. Thanks for bringing these great players with you.
Thank you, man. Thank y'all for having. Like I said, this is a staple for Kentucky music to me. Red Barn's kind of a staple for that, so it's an honor to be here. Thank y'all for having us.
Yeah, well, it's an honor to have you with us. It's really, really great to have you guys here, and I know the audience is enjoying this as much as we are. So you came from Owensboro, and why don't you tell folks who are listening about Owensboro? Go right to the sort of triptych info. Where is it, and what's it like there?
Yeah, Owensboro's in western Kentucky, but it's in like northwestern Kentucky. So we're right on the Ohio River, right on the northern border there, and it's one of many barbecue capitals of the world. And we've got some pretty good barbecue. We stand by our barbecue.
Barbecue's become pretty popular over the last 10 years, hasn't it?
Yes, it has.
I think you're right. You're right. There are a lot more barbecue capitals now than ever.
Owensboro is one of the barbecue capitals of the world. Though I love my city so much, man. It's been very good to me and very good to musicians like us over the years, and helped us make somewhat of a living, playing music over the years. So my city's very special to me.
Yeah. So for folks who've never been there before, what's it like when you come driving into town? Like, what kind of
It's
town
nice,
is it?
man. They just redid our, like I said, we're a river city, so we're right on the river, right on the Ohio River. So you come into town, depending on which way you're coming from. But if you're coming from Indiana there's a bridge right as you come into downtown. And when you come over, they just built a beautiful new downtown area, and it's just a magnificent view when you come over the bridge there, man. Very friendly town. I think I like Owensboro so much because it's
It's a smaller town, but it's big enough that, you know, it's got everything you need, you know what I mean?
Huh.
So it's got that hometown feel, but it's big enough that there's plenty to do, you know, in a normal time, you know?
Yeah, in normal time. Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right.
I was going to ask you, when there's not a pandemic going on, are there a lot
Yes.
of sort of interesting musical events going on down there in your sort of your riverfront area?
Oh
and-
yeah, we got a Romp is huge. You know, Romp
Oh,
is
yeah.
yeah. We're also
Of
the
course.
we're right there at the bluegrass capital. You know, we've got the bluegrass museum that just got built.
Indeed.
The National Bluegrass Museum just got built a few years ago, and that's been huge for our community. And they sponsor Romp Festival, which is one of the bigger bluegrass festivals in the country, and it's growing every year.
Yeah,
man.
give people a sense of the size of that and what that's meant to Owensboro to have Romp there. How long has it been going on in Owensboro?
You know, I'm not positive. I know.
10 years, maybe?
Yeah, but more, I'd say. I'd say closer to 20 if I had to guess. I know my dad went to Romp Festival when he was
Oh, wow.
younger.
Okay.
And yeah, they've been doing it for a long time. Different locations, I think, around the area, but it's been going on for a long time, man. It's a big staple for the community right now.
So you've probably, over the course of time, really seen a lot of growth there and a lot of things change. Were you born there?
For sure. I was born in Owensboro. I've lived a lot of places, though, but I was born there, and I grew up about 30 minutes east, about 30, 45 minutes east of Owensboro in Reynolds Station, Kentucky. Kind of a very rural part of that area.
And so you went to a kind of a small. Did you go to high school in Reynolds Station?
Well, again, you could draw a web all the places that I lived. I lived in Somerset, Kentucky for a little while, which is closer to here, you know.
Yeah.
We lived there for about 7 years, and then we moved back to Owensboro, and I actually graduated from Owensboro High School, which is their city school there.
Did you play football there?
I played football in Pulaski County. Yeah, I played football there for a little bit, but then when we moved back, I didn't though. But I should have. I think I should have kept
Yeah,
playing. Yeah,
I'd say so.
that's about the time I started playing music, I guess, and got really involved in music. Was about the time that we moved back. So it was a natural step for me to. I'm the kind of person, I'm hyper focused. So if I was playing football, I knew every football team that was NFL, college, whatever, and that was what I did, and I didn't do much else. And then once I got into music, it was like I kind of hyper focus on things that I'm doing at the moment, and I've been focusing on this for a bit now.
Why'd you move around so much?
Well, my family, my mom and dad, they split up when I was a baby, when I was little, and a lot of my new album is about a course in my life where my mom went through a really bad drug addiction herself, you know. So when I was about 8 years old, I guess, I moved around a lot with her, and then me and my younger brother, we ended up getting placed with our dads when I was about 8 years old. So I moved in with him, and then he ended up moving to Somerset, got a job opportunity down there, so we moved down there for a little bit.
Did I read somewhere, and maybe in your bio, that you also spent some time living with your grandparents?
I did. Well, Reynolds Station out there, it's my great aunt and uncle's house, but they were like my grandparents growing up, man. It was like going to grandma and grandpa's house when I went to their house, man. And they had this little bitty 2-bedroom trailer on this 70-acre farm, just when I say farm, but it was just a huge cow pasture. So, yeah, me and my brother, we'd run rampant out there, man. It was two young boys' dreams out there, man. You couldn't get into trouble, you know what I mean? You could do whatever you wanted out there, man. Run wild. So
Are you the
it's great
bigger
for
brother
us.
of the two?
I'm the oldest. Yeah, I'm the oldest. On my mom's side, I've got three younger brothers, and then on my dad's side, I've got 2 sisters, and I'm the oldest in the family. Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
And how about your music roots? Did that start in your family? Did your dad or your mom play? Were they actual players?
My dad did. Yeah, I get all my music from my dad, man. There's been music in my license as long as I can remember, and that's definitely him. My dad was one of 14 kids, and
Wow.
one of 14. He was the middle of 14 kids, and almost all of them play some form of an instrument, or they sing or something like that, and they kind of had this big family bluegrass band for a long time. And I can remember when I was probably about 8 or 9 years old, I can remember going over to my uncle's house, like on the weekends. We didn't have nothing else to do, and all my uncles would come over, and we'd have these big bluegrass jam outs in my uncle's garage. And that's where I fell in love with music for sure, man. We had so much fun.
That's a lot of uncles.
Nine. There was 9 boys and 5 girls. So, yeah, man. And my dad says all the time, he was like, supper time was war because you had to fight for food.
Big family, and it's an amazing thing, right? How kids must grow in that kind of environment where they have so many siblings to think about and care for. I guess it would be hard to become self-centered if you're one of 14 kids.
It'd be interesting, man. Just hearing my dad talk about it, I think he enjoyed having the big family like that, man. And I know they grew up very humble, and because they had my grandpa and my grandparents had such a big family to feed, they grew up very humble and worked on a farm and had pigs and stuff like that, when we were growing up. And he loved it. He said it was hard. But
yeah, and you had some challenges, growing up in your family with your mom and dad and whatnot, splitting when you were so young. But it sounds like you had really, though, a terrific support system with a family that big, and you talk about those memories of those family jams and everything. It sounds really warm.
It was great, man. It was great. There was I say all the time, because my parents were split up, I kind of grew up in 2 different worlds. When I'd go to my dad's house, it was this one environment. When I went to my mom's house, it was this other environment, and it wasn't always bad in either place. Like my mom, even when she was going through her stuff, that side of my family I'm very close with. They're near and dear to my heart. And then my dad's side is, I'm very close to them too, almost a totally different way. My great aunt and uncle that I grew up with is on my mom's side, so that's my mom's aunt. And when my mom was really going through the rough of it, man, my great aunt and uncle, Wilma and Marshall Harris, they really stepped up and made sure we didn't go without, make sure we always had what we needed. So I'm very thankful to them and always will be.
Yeah. You picked up your guitar when?
Oh, man, I started playing upright bass first. So I'd go out to these bluegrass jam outs, and my Uncle Curtis played upright bass. And, man, when I was about 8 years old, I thought that was just the coolest thing you ever seen, ever. This huge instrument,
And were you a pretty big guy already?
I was. I've always been pretty good size, but I was still 8. So when I first started to learn to play it, my Uncle Curtis, actually, I was at one of these jam outs, and I told him, I said, man, I want to play one of those one day, Daddy. And my Uncle Curtis was the type of guy, he's like, go put it in the truck, man, take it home. I don't ever play it unless we're doing this. So we loaded it up, and I remember when my dad was first teaching me to play it, I had to stand in a chair to hold it. It's such a big instrument, And so I did that. I was a bass player for a long time, and then when I just, got to probably about 14 or 15 years old, and I started wanting to sing songs and play music. I've always loved to sing too. So when I did that, I started learning to play guitar so that I could accompany myself.
Well, bass is a great foundation, right?
Yeah, for sure.
For getting rolling.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It taught me a lot. It taught me the little bit about the theory. I wouldn't dare say that I know much about theory, but it taught me the theory that I needed to know to kind of start playing music for sure.
Yeah, basic orientation on the neck and whatnot.
Absolutely.
At least with the first 4 strings, right?
Right.
And when did you find your singing voice? How old would you say you were when somebody said to you, hey?
Probably about
nice
that
voice.
age, probably around 13 or 14, man. I can remember when I first, I remember singing at school, and that's, that was and I've heard, I won't take credit for saying, I can't remember who I heard say this, but I heard somebody say once that they played a song at school, and all the girls gave them a lot of attention, so they thought, oh man, that's what I'm gonna do, and that's exactly how it was, man. I thought, man, this is neat, man. I told you that story. You may have. It may have been. It may have been. That's exactly how it was for me, though, man. It really was. I just, you notice somebody paying attention for the first time, man. It's like, okay, this is something. This might be for me. This might be my niche. And I already loved music, but that was the first time I ever thought, wow, I enjoy this. I like how this feels.
There's some people in school, some teachers that you had that you remember who who were particularly supportive of you and who sort of gave you that sort of confidence boost that was important for you to have
I had
as
a lot.
middle
I had a
schooler?
lot of great teachers, man. I moved around so much, man. It was hard to get really close, with one in particular, man. But I do have to say, over the course of being in school, I had so many great teachers, man. I was blessed with a lot of. I've been blessed my whole life to have a lot of great people around me, just accidentally,
Yeah. Good teachers for you are people, men, women who are there for you, listen, have a good ear for you,
Absolutely.
who encourage you in the things that you do, and
Absolutely, man. I was not the smart guy in school. I was, I wasn't. I made my way around, but school was never my big forte. As far as I didn't make great grades and stuff like that. So I feel like when you're like that, you have to occupy your time while you're there. If you're not learning, you have to occupy your time and entertain. And a good teacher was always one that could hone that back, and they understood that, and they could teach you through that. And I had
school's
some great.
not for everybody.
Right, it's not. Yeah. And I made my way through school. I made my way through some college. You know what I mean? And did great there. But especially when I was younger, man, school was a playground for me. I've always been a socialite, so school was a place for me to go and see my friends, and that's just always, that's what it was for me growing up.
That's one of the best parts of school.
Oh yeah,
is the social part, for kids,
Absolutely.
and that's where they learn so much from
I
each
always
other.
enjoyed it. As bad as I did at school, I always loved school. I loved being at school, man.
So go into your sort of later teen. So we were sort of in your 13s, 14s, middle school territory. So go to high school now, and where were you going musically at that point in time?
I was all over the place, man. I was all over the place. I grew up with a lot of different music in my life. My dad loved bluegrass and country music, and my mom, she listened to a little bit of everything, and everything from the thickest bluegrass you can think of to country music to hip hop. I love everything, man. I listen to everything and still do, man. I'm so deep rooted in music. So through high school, I didn't really have a course that you know what I mean? I just loved music and loved to do it in any fashion that I could. And probably around the time I graduated is when I started, I think my senior year of high school, I had my first garage band,
All right.
and where we got some guys together, and our name was Ground Zero was the name of that band.
Perfect.
No affiliation with anything but but we were Ground Zero, and we played like alt rock music, man. So we did like Three Doors Down and all that stuff that And I've changed so much over the, you know what I mean? I think that's the course of music. I think it grows with you a little bit,
Well, good change is good. Well, let's come back and talk some more in a little bit. Hey, tell us about the next tune you're going to play, Not a Life to Save.
Yeah, this song, I wrote this song for my Aunt Jennifer, my late Aunt Jennifer. She passed away in 2007. She passed away at her own hand. She took her life. And she was like a second mom to me growing up. She was my mom's best friend as far back as I can remember. When I think of my mom, I can think of my Aunt Jennifer being there in some way. They were best friends, and it was a big loss for me, and I miss her a lot. And she was a part of a lot of the timeline of how this album took place and stuff. So it was important for me to get to write her a song, something to remember for myself.
All right, I'm looking forward to hearing it. Hey, folks, we've got Josh Merritt with us on Red Barn Radio. Give him a warm welcome back. Josh Merritt.
Why don't you take me to Wherever you're going to, just let me drive. Why don't you take me to wherever you're going to, just let me drive. Tomorrow's not promised, especially today. And I can't make your hurt go away. It's clear to me you're not alive to say. Why don't you stop and breathe? There's so much world to misbelieve. Just walk on by. Why don't you stop and breathe? There's so much world to misbelieve. Just walk on by. Creek water's rising. You're in your wedding dress. There's no wedding planned for today. It's clear to me you're not alive to say. Creek water's rising. You're in your wedding dress. There's no wedding planned for today. It's clear to me you're not alive to say. Your heart is burning, but you're not alive to say. Thank y'all. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeppers.
Live at Red Barn. You believe that? Live at Red Barn, baby.
I love it.
We're here, man.
I'm loving every minute of
Yeah,
it.
man. Beautiful.
We live, baby.
We live.
Too live, baby.
This is the title track off my new record. This is called Reynolds Station. This is about home. 1, 2, 3, 4. Out in Reynolds Station, there's a trailer that sits back above the hill. White with shutters painted red, a kitchen where we'd sit down for a meal. Me and my two brothers ran the woods right out beside
small. We'd run and laugh and fight all day. The real world didn't matter yet at all. Oh, but sometimes I still think about that tree bars where we hung out from morning till the sun was wearing thin. Oh, then we'd head back for supper time, fall asleep to wind chimes. When morning came, we'd do it all again. And I know I'm getting older now, and my mind ain't near the same. I'm living for this nightlife. I've been chasing fortune, girls, and fame. And I ain't been back in years now, and I'm the only one to blame. I keep those memories with me. Love and memories ain't the same. Across the field, the cows would stay all by itself or set a water well. We'd throw rocks and pennies in and wish for things with what we'd never tell. Oh, then we'd sit on the porch and play while Wilma Marshall and Wanda May told stories about times way back when. Army men and Lego blocks, Hot Wheels and a no-shoe box, our next adventure just around the bend. And I know I'm getting older now, but in my mind ain't near the same. I'm living for this nightlife. I've been chasing fortune, girls, and fame. And I ain't been back in years now, and I'm the only one to blame. Keep those memories with me. Oh, but memories ain't the same. I'm sure that place ain't half the size as it was in my younger eyes, but life ain't near as big as what we think. Yesterday I dialed that place. To my surprise, a voice came on the phone. Said, baby, when you coming home? And I know I'm getting older now, but in my mind ain't near the same. I'm living for this nightlife. I've been chasing fortune, girls, and fame. And I ain't been back in years now, and I'm the only one to blame. I keep those memories with me. All but memories ain't the same. I keep those memories with me. All but memories ain't the same. Thank you. Goes out to my Aunt Wilma. Yeah.
Yeah, baby.
1, 2. But you ain't got a chance with me, baby, though you think you do. See, you've been looking my direction, but you're playing the fool. I know you think you're special cause you got the boys' attention, but girl, you're nothing to me. So keep on staring at me, I can see you from afar, hustling drinks like a pro, laid back on the bar. You make it look easy, but baby, ain't nothing free, no. Said, oh, you wanna sit by me? What? Come on, baby, sit by me, yeah. I bet you can make me feel high like a bird in flight. Make me feel special, make me feel so right. Baby, you got the lock and I got the key, yeah. I bet you're a bad mama, baby, when I get you alone. I bet you make me go crazy when I hear you moan. No matter how I fight it, baby, you just mine. You're just what I need tonight. You've been looking hard at me, baby, and you know it's true. You've been looking my direction, but you're playing the fool. I know you think you're special cause you're doing what you're doing, but girl, it's easy to see that you can keep on fronting, that won't get you too far. You can go and pay your tab, meet me out by the car. You make it look easy, but baby, ain't nothing free. Said, oh, you wanna stay with me? Ah. Come on, honey, sit by me. I bet you can make me feel high like a bird in flight. Make me feel special, make me feel so right. Baby, you got the lock and I got the key. I bet you're a bad mover, baby, when I get you alone. I bet you make me go crazy when I hear you moan. No matter how I fight it, baby, you just mine. You're just what I need tonight. Woo! Bet you can make me feel high like a bird in flight. Make me feel special, make me feel so right. Baby, you got the lock and I got the key. I bet you're a bad mover business when I get you alone. I bet you make me go crazy when I hear you moan.
Yes.
No matter how I fight it, baby, you just mine. I bet you can make me feel high like a bird in flight. Make me feel special, make me feel so right. Baby, you got the lock and I got the key. I bet you're a bad mover business when I get you alone. I bet you make me go crazy when I hear you moan. No matter how I fight it, baby, you're just mine. Just what I need tonight. Woo! Yeah, that's what I need tonight.
What I need, yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, man. Thank you. Thank y'all.
Hey, folks, that's Josh Merritt, and there's a lot more music to come. But first, I wanted to just make a couple announcements. Next week, you should know Red Barn Radio will be on hiatus. We will return with our live stream on January 27th. That's in a couple of weeks with country music singer-songwriter from Charleston, West Virginia, Drew Cable. Be sure to be with us for Drew Cable streaming on Red Barn Radio January 27. Red Barn Radio, roots, music, Southern style. Now let's get on with tonight's Red Barn Radio comes to you live on our social media platforms from the Arts Place Performance Hall here in the great city of Lexington, Kentucky. Please welcome back now Josh Merritt to the Red Barn stage.
Thank you. get a drink. I'm going to play y'all a couple songs. This song's been with me a very long time. My dad actually wrote this song. This is called Yes or No. When we talk anymore, you just stare at the floor. There must be someone new in your life. And if he can't see that you're married to me, well, he must be blind. So tell me yes, tell me no, you don't love me no more, 'cause I can't live this kind of life. If you want to go, baby, I'll let you know that I'll be hurt down deep inside. And I'll fall asleep at night holding your picture tight, praying that you call. And all tore up and hurt inside, trying not to climb the wall. We said vows a long time ago that our love would always be true, and you'd always be honest with me, and I'd always be honest with you. So tell me yes, tell me no, if you don't love me no more, I can't live this kind of life. If you want to go, baby, I'll let you know I'll be hurt down deep inside. And I'll fall asleep at night holding your picture tight and praying that you call. And all tore up and hurt inside, trying not to climb the wall. And I'm always gonna be here, and I'll always love you so, but I can't live this kind of life, so baby, I've got to know. Just tell me yes, tell me no, if you don't love me no more, I can't live this kind of life. If you want to go, baby, I'll let you know I'll be hurt down deep inside. I'll fall asleep at night holding your picture tight, praying that you call. All tore up and hurt inside, trying not to climb the wall. All tore up and hurt inside, trying not to climb the wall. Thank you. You guys. Wrote this next song for my mama. The song's called Tanya Joe. I bet you can't guess what my mama's name is. Tanya Joe, you know I love you. Ain't too many come before you. This world's just a busy place these days. And I don't hold one thing against you when I'm away. I still miss you. I hope you never think that ain't the case. But late at night, you get to thinking, and heavy hearts are easy sinking. Turn the TV off and get some sleep. Put your cell phone on the charger and know your boys are living larger than this world had intended us to make. And laugh a little while, 'cause I love to see you smile in spite of everything that could have made you break. Take a little time and understand that we all make mistakes. You've always let men define you, but you made four to stand behind you. You got a one that's watching from above. We're still off on our own missions, but when we're away, we're still wishing Mama will always be there, push or shove. And Mama, you're still living for the youngest, but coming soon. There are times upon us, I pray to God that you receive a break. Clear your mind and find your spirit, 'cause your ambition's buried with it. There's still time and space for dreams to make. And take a little time and make a little rhyme to make you think of days when nothing was at stake. And laugh a little while and understand that we all make mistakes. Hi, Mom. Thank you, guys. Oh, man. I write a lot about my family. Can you tell? Say that to say, I wrote this one. I told you I grew up on my great aunt and uncle's farm out in Reynolds Station, Kentucky, and my Uncle Marshall passed away last year, and I wrote this song for him to tell him how much he meant to me over the years before he passed, and I got to play it for him, and I got to send him home with this one too. This is called Fly Away. One of Earth's most gentle human beings. Well, I love to watch him whittle on his cane. Well, each morning you could find him on his front porch, just living off his memories up in vain. He spent most his life in some old local factory, a place he didn't matter, you could say. We were just the children of his nieces, but he'd follow us around on Saturdays. And as we played dinosaurs, we'd make slingshots, bows, and swords. It seemed like it was the perfect getaway. And they'll never make his life into a movie, and you'll never hear his name on East Broadway. But if God's got it all, next time he'll stand him tall. Make him be a bird to fly away. By the time that I was grown, he was an old man. He gave away more than he'd ever made. Kentucky best cigars would keep him company. He'd sit and smoke them quiet in the shade. He always liked to tell me about his wild days. It's funny how they never seem to be. Sometimes I'd go visit just to listen, 'cause I never really needed much to say. Then he'd tell me goodbye, shake my hand and wink his eye. It seemed like he always wanted me to stay, and they'll never make his life into a movie, and you'll never hear his name on East Broadway. But if God's got it all, next time they'll stand him tall, or make him be a bird to fly away. Someday, I hope you never worry more. You never have one single chore. You will be the one to play, and someday, well, I hope you get to fly around, perch on a tree and sing real loud. You will be the perfect one someday. Uncle Marshall.
All right. Hey, you're listening to Josh Merritt, folks, here on Red Barn Radio tonight. You know, Josh, your love for your family just rings out so loud and clear in so many of the songs that you sing, that you write. It seems like despite the challenges that you all have had in your lives, you know, in the passing of relatives and whatnot, just seems that love and forgiveness run pretty deep in your family.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, man. We're very human, just you know, for lack of better words, and
That's a good word.
Yeah, man. And you don't find that everywhere, though. You know what I mean? Forgiveness can be a hard thing sometimes. I feel like, and it can be a hard thing to find and to get to. And luckily, I grew up in a family where we were never perfect, and therefore we got to learn about forgiveness very firsthand. And if we didn't forgive each other, man, it'd be World War III where I come from. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, yeah, man, love and forgiveness and that true sense of family, I definitely got that growing up for sure.
Yeah. When you write about and talk about your music, you talk about sort of the core values of grit and honesty that you assign to the songs that you write. What do you mean by that?
Oh man, I like writing songs that are true to me. You know what I mean? And for this last album that I put out, especially, you know, they were all songs that were very close to home to me. That's not necessarily the only way that I write. You know, I like writing about. I like writing fiction as well, you know, and being a songwriter in that light. But these songs were all very near and dear to my heart. They were about me and the people around me and the people that I love. But you know, I believe in telling the truth. You know, that's something that's important to me. And my song "Live" with that I played earlier, the upbeat, jumpy one. That's what everybody. Out of all the somber ones, that's the upbeat, jumpy one. You know, but when I was going to write that song is about. My Aunt Jennifer, and it's about she was in a car accident one time, and she got an insurance settlement, and she came home and had all this money, and she chose to start her own hillbilly empire. I'll just say that. But anyway, when I was asking my mom about how to write about that, yeah, when I was asking my mom about how to write about that, that was what she told me. She said, well, be honest. She's like, be honest in this song, and that's something I've always tried to hold on to, and that's the way I like to write my songs, is as honest as possible.
Yeah, and you're honest about yourself too. I mean, you've talked, for instance, about your that you got kind of tangled up in substances and there's alcohol.
Mostly alcohol.
Mostly
for me,
alcohol
yeah.
for a time.
I'll actually be 2 years sober this Friday. So,
Well, all right.
Yeah, thank you very much. Man.
Yeah.
Thank you very
So
much.
what's the that's awesome. And what are the forces or grace that were at play to help you get clean 2 years ago?
I've got a sweet 5-year-old little girl, man.
Ah.
Yeah, man. And you know, I've been a musician. I've been full-time musician for going on a decade now, and I've had her around for half of that, and the last half of that, she's the biggest influence in my life. Every move that I make, you know, revolves around her, and making sure that she gets to be as happy and as joyful as possible. And it's hard to do that when you're hungover every day, or you know what I mean, or if you're not feeling 100. You know what I'm saying? And nobody's 100. Nobody's a perfect parent. Nobody's, you know what I mean? We've all, that's part of life. But just for me personally, I liked myself a lot better when I was clean-headed, and I could be around her and really get to concentrate on the time I got to spend with her, and remember and cherish the time I get to spend with her when I'm clean-headed. So it's been my biggest influence, yeah.
Good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I was going to ask you what part, how music played in your sobriety plan. And I think you just said it, didn't you? That you wrote the songs for Reynolds Station about your family and
Right.
about your sort of your own family story. And was that part of a recovery kind of project
It was
for you?
actually a big coincidence. It took me, we worked 3 years almost on this record, so I stretched it out, and I just kind of would record when I could, and that's kind of how this record got recorded. And I got sober kind of in the middle of that, and it wasn't because of the record, or it was just kind of a coincidence, more or less. But it definitely, after I got it finished, the process of making the record definitely helped me reflect on my family and stuff that had happened to me in my childhood, and it gave me a lot more reasons to want to get sober, and you know, so it wasn't the reason I wrote the record. My sobriety had nothing to do with it, but it definitely was a huge part of it. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
What I was thinking about as I was listening to your music today, I just got to thinking again about what a transformation Kentucky music has gone through in recent years, you know, last 10 years. And to me, I was just, I was listening to you sing, and I was thinking, you know, I think a lot of the transformation going on is about the voice. You know, you think about, you think about Sturgill, and you think about Chris, and you think about Tyler.
Yeah.
The stuff you do, it's so vocal. The lyric is really critically important. The voice is really, really strong. That's not to say that you know, Kentucky has any shortage of great guitarists and mandolinists and violinists and everything else. They're all still here with us.
Oh, yeah.
But it just seems like the music is driving, the voice is driving the music right now. What's your take on sort of the directions in Kentucky music right now?
I believe there's a lot of strife in Kentucky, no matter what ladder of the economy you got to grow up in. You know what I'm saying? You know, Kentucky's definitely a working class state, you know, when I think about it. And I think a lot of those guys are my heroes, man. And I know, like Tyler, he grew up out east, and I'm assuming, you know, with the coal mining communities, he's sang a lot about that and stuff. So, and Sturgill, working class, you know what I mean, worked on the railroad before he went into what he was doing. You know what I mean? And I think that comes out. Same as the blues, you know, back in the day. The reason the blues sound so good is there was a little bit of pain in there, there was a little bit of strife in there, you know, and I think Kentucky music's the same way, you know. Those guys in particular, and me included, you know, you got to be calloused a little, you know what I mean? You got to have a few scars on you to make something so soulful, you know what I mean? And that's what I love about their music, man. There's a lot of soul in it. There's a lot of honesty in it, you know.
Yeah.
And
a lot of that in yours.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. And it's just great. I'd love to hear you talk just a bit about the recording of Reynolds Station. We were talking about that a couple minutes ago. Shannon Lawson was at the heart of that project. Can you talk a little bit about your relationship with Shannon? First of all, tell folks who Shannon is.
Shannon is a huge singer-songwriter. Shannon was signed, had a record deal back in the early 2000s, and had several charting hits, and then he's wrote several #1 hits, including the list goes on and on. But he wrote like "Baby, When I Look at You" for Big and Rich, and Shannon is near and dear to my heart, man. I met Shannon about a year before I went to start recording my album. Another mutual friend of ours was starting a cancer foundation called Strong as Jamie. His name was Bob Bradley, and Bob actually passed away a few weeks ago, man. About a month or so ago. So it's crazy talking about him now. But Bob was starting up this cancer foundation called Strong as Jamie, and my friends in a band called Brasher Bogue was recording a song for that foundation. It was going to be kind of like their theme song, you know what I mean? The song was called Strong as Jamie, and Shannon offered his studio up as a place to record this song. So when he did it, it was the day that we went in to record it. It was one of those deals where we had one day to go in there and get everybody in there and knock it out, you know. It was because, he had sessions and things like that going on. He's like, we do it this day. And I got to be a part of that day. I got to go down with my friends, Brasher Bogue, and I met a lot of friends it was a magical day. I think it was because of what we were doing, myself, I believe in that, you know.
Yeah.
I believe it was because of what we were there to do, and the energy in the room was great. And I met so many great people, including Shannon himself, and I got to know Shannon's music a lot more. I got to know Shannon a lot more during that time, and he was working on a project at the time called El Camino, and they'd recorded an album that I don't think they ever officially put out. But I ended up getting a copy of this album, and it was like a Tex-Mex style. It's like music I'd never heard before. It was so great. And for anyone that's not ever listened to Shannon, he's literally one of the best vocalists I've ever heard in my entire life, male vocalist, bar none. And this music was just magical, but more so than even the songwriting and how well the vocals were on the album. I loved the feel of the album. I loved the sonics of the album. So I ended up messaging them a month or so after getting that record. And I said, hey, man, I've got this record I've had an idea for a long time. I've got songs that are ready to go. And who produced your record? And he's like, well, I produced it, in my studio down here and stuff. And anyway, we started the process of talking about, me recording with him. And it was wonderful, man. Shannon was great to work with.
Did he organize the ensemble that ended up playing for you?
He did.
Tell folks about the players you had.
For sure, man. That was all Shannon, man. But people like Peter Keys from Leonard Skinner, who plays keys for Leonard Skinner, is playing keys on the record. Robert Kearns, who's Sheryl Crow's bass player. Currently, Shaky Foles was on the Rock and Roll Jesus album, I believe, for Kid Rock. So yeah, man, some big cats that I was fortunate enough to be in the room with, And,
so you were in the room?
I did, man. In today's world, a lot of that stuff is done remotely and satellite. But no, almost everybody that we worked with either came into the studio, or Peter Keys, we actually went to his studio. He's got a home studio where he does all of his stuff, and I got to go and hang out over there for the day while he did that. It was awesome, man.
Okay, so break it down a little bit then. If you so you're playing with guys, seasoned players like that, have been playing for a long time.
Yeah.
You're sort of new on the scene for them, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely.
And so how do they learn your songs?
Well, we brought them in, and we kind of recorded the album, and we laid down our rough tracks, and then we brought the rhythm section in next, so we got the drums and the bass in. So we just kind of built as we went. So when the drums and the bass player came in, they actually sit down with songs that I'd written, and that's why it was so important to use such seasoned studio guys like them, is because they came in and charted everything out on the spot. And then from there, it was Shannon. Shannon really took the role of producer and really took hey, let's try this. I'm feeling this feel for the, you know what I mean? And so Shannon was a big part of the way that the album sounded and kind of the way it landed. And it was great that we were working with people that he worked with a lot in his studio, because they had they'd worked together before. They kind of had an energy between them anyway. So they communicated well in the studio, So when Shannon said, hey, let's try this, it was second nature. So was really neat to to watch the process.
It
kinda
sounds
unfold.
great, yeah.
Yeah,
And I can see by your facial expression, like you were really happy with the choices that were made and
Yeah,
the way that Shannon
absolutely.
directed it.
Right, and I got to, I was, of course, I was in the driver's seat when I needed to be, and Shannon was in the driver's seat when he needed to be, as far as the way it needed to be. And that was the best thing about working with Shannon, is that we got to know each other so well over that time. We would have these great conversations outside the studio after we were packing up and stuff, and you could tell our energies were very much the same in a lot of ways, and I don't think we ever disagree. You know what I mean? There was never a disagreement when we were doing something like, I don't know, man, let's try this way. And like everything was like, we weren't catering to each other at all, which would be easy to do for me because like, oh, he knows what he's doing. I don't need to say anything. And him in like, well, this is his record. We need to do it this way. There was none of that. But all the decisions that were made, we were kind of right on par with. You know what I mean? We were kind of right there. Like, yeah, absolutely. That's perfect. So
Oh, nice. That's exactly what I was wondering about. How you worked that out.
It was a great energy, man. And his studio that he had put together, it was called The Compound. It had an energy about it like that, So it was neat. It was neat getting to work there.
Wow. Well, you got a great energy about you, and love your songs, and have so enjoyed having you on Red Barn tonight. It's been a great time.
Absolutely. I'm having a blast,
great. Really
man.
filling us up. And I would love for you, when the players come back out, could you take just a minute to introduce the players?
I would love to, man.
And that'd be great. And then
great friends of mine.
Yeah, and then we'll let you guys play out your last set.
Sounds great.
All right.
To me.
Hey, welcome back, Josh Merritt, folks.
All right. Yeah, absolutely. This next one's called "Honest as a Song," and let's see. I'd say about 5 years ago, man, I was dealing with some horrible anxiety and depression, and most of my life I've been fortunate enough that I've always been pretty upbeat about everything, and I think it has to do with if you grow up a little rougher than most, the little things that seem bad to some people don't always seem bad to you. It's like, well, this ain't so bad at all. So like when I was around 26, 27 years old, I got depressed for like the first time in my life, like really depressed, and had to deal with like horrible anxiety. And long story short, I woke up one morning, I'd been like a month in on this, just not feeling good at all mentally. And I was laying in bed, couldn't sleep one night, and I had some advice given to me that if you're feeling like that, get up and walk around, So I got up, and I put on, the song is not about this at all, but I put on the Doors biopic. Yeah, with like Val Kilmer, which is a horrible thing. It's very dark. It's a very horrible thing to watch if that's what you're feeling anyway. And it wasn't about this at all, but I was sitting there watching that, just trying to keep my mind busy, and I wrote this song. It was one that just kind of fell onto the paper, but this is called "Honest as a Song." It's been a crazy couple weeks. Well, all I do is eat and I don't sleep. 6 months ago my head was big enough to fill the room. Now I'm living on the edge and wondering what I'm gonna do. No. Late at night my mind's away, thinking back on all my life's mistakes. Now I ain't been no worse or better than I've ever been, but I find myself reflecting more as age wears on my skin, No. Now I know what these songs that I've been singing really mean, and the irony of that is the damnedest thing I've ever seen.
as honest as a song. I've been as empty as a tomb. And there's no sunshine when winter comes to gloom. And I've come to realize the man that sent me all the while. Now there is no doubt about it that I am my parents' child. Mind this cloud. And oh, 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 oh. Now I know what these songs that I've been singing really mean. And the irony of that is the damnedest thing I've ever seen. Remember, no one ever really knows you all along. But time will show us all to be as honest as a song. Now I know what these songs that I've been singing really mean. And the irony of that is the damnedest thing I've ever seen. Remember, no one ever really knows you all along. But time will show us all to be as honest as a song. No, no. Thank you very much. Yeah, I want to introduce you guys to my friends, man. Over here to my left, the first time I ever really got to go out and tour and tour around the nation a little bit was with my friend Cynthia Murray here.
Hi,
man.
everybody.
First time I
Hello.
ever got to hit the road. Yeah,
Hi.
man. Cynthia was in a band called OCL at the time, man. They were huge, man, doing some great things, making some crazy great music. And yeah, they invited me out on tour, and I got to go
We went to Iowa.
thumb up and down the road. Yeah, man. I
Iowa
went to
State
Iowa,
Fair.
Right?
It was amazing.
It was
Yeah.
a great time. She's a great friend of mine, though. She's got a great voice, doesn't she, man? Like, blessed to have you here. I really am.
Thank
man.
you.
Thank you
I
very
love you,
much.
Josh.
Back here in the back, this is Chris Lee. Me and Chris have played together for years. We've had several bands together and played a lot of music together over the years. And when I say that there's best friends with me here today, I mean it, man. And thank you for being here, Chris. I really appreciate it, man. One of the best drummers I know, man. And this guy over here is I've probably been with the longest, man.
Definitely.
One of my best friends in the entire world.
Thank you, man.
When I first started playing music in general out and about, one of the first gigs I ever made any money at, like at a bar, was with this guy. His name's Jared Green from Hartford, Kentucky, man.
Thanks, man.
you for being
Thank
here.
you.
So yeah, this is fun, man. This next one's called Best of Me. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Challenge our love out of boredom and take me to some other place, 'cause I'm too far in to believe you, and everyone lives for the chase. And I used to think we were perfect, but that's just something we say, 'cause nothing in this world is perfect. So when you know you gotta play. So what if we start here again? Life ain't no TV show, and babe, I ain't playing no role. Look in my eyes and you'll see that I'm giving you the best of me. Now I never said I was perfect. Hey, I know sometimes I'm wrong, but that doesn't change how I'm feeling. And I hope that you come along. 'Cause girl, I know sometimes you're restless. It seems like you always want more. But take a step back from the window and look at what could be in store. So what if we start here again in a place where we can be true? Remembering just what it meant on the day I knew I loved you. See, life ain't no TV show, and babe, I ain't playing no role. Look in my eyes and you'll see that I'm giving you the best of me. So what if we start here again in a place where we can be true? Remembering just what it meant on the day I knew I loved you. See, life ain't no TV show, and babe, I ain't playing no role. Look in my eyes and you'll see that I'm giving you the best of me. And I'm giving you the best of.
Yeah, man.
I didn't say me at the end, man. I did that on purpose, and we did that on the studio, on the recording too, man. I love the cliffhanger. It leaves everybody just like, leave him hanging. Whew. This next song is it's one of my favorite songs I've ever written. When I wrote this song, I knew that I wanted to do a concept record like I did. And, I was trying to write about somebody that was not in the middle. I feel like when you go through substance abuse, you go through these stages where it's very fun at first, and then towards the middle of it, it starts to get where it's like, man, I don't know, I need that to get level, and by the end of it, you need it to be normal in any sense at all, and level in any sense at all. And when you start to get in the beginning of the end there, I feel like it can be a very dark place, and it can feel like a very lonely place sometimes. And I wanted to write a song about that. So this song, I tried to encompass the beginning of the end. And I wanted to write this for anybody that would feel alone during their addiction, that feels like maybe bad stuff they might have did or been a part of, that they're the only ones that have been there or did it. I wanted them to know that, we're all living, man, and we all make mistakes, and there's always a way back. This is called The High. It's time to go for another spin. We said we'd never be back here again, but this itch I've got just won't seem to side. Last time was a bad few days, but now I'm thinking it was just a phase. 'Cause this feeling now means more to me than God. Drop your kids off at your closest to kin. There's a damn good chance you won't see them again. But look 'em in the eyes and then wave goodbye. Yeah, pretend they don't know that you're leaving for the high. I keep thinking things will be just fine. I take a little to enhance my mind, but my face looks bad and my mind just ain't the same. And people care because they try to call, but that don't mean a thing to me at all. 'Cause this poison sky makes me think do or die. Hang the phone up when you're closest to kin. Don't give three damns if you see them again. And this leather belt would make a damn good tie. As the world flies by just chasing for the high. Everything now is upside down. We got busted with the half batch found. There ain't no place left for me to lay my head. I make it now because I'm scared of the ground. My name's been smeared all over this town. And name one damn place that'll sell me Sudafed. Drop your kids off one more time, 'cause the state of Kentucky says you owe them a dime. As my head clears up, I start to sigh. Oh, day by day, just waiting to die. Waiting around for something new to try. A day in the life, chasing the high.
Hey, we would like to thank Josh Merritt and his band for being with us this evening. We also thank our volunteers and staff for their help in making our production happen each and every week. Thank you all for listening to our webcast, watching us on YouTube and Twitch, and those listening to us on the Red Barn network of stations. Thanks to WEKU, Red Barn Radio's official radio partner, NPR, for Central and Eastern Kentucky. Listen online at weku.org. It's your chance to hear more great live music from Red Barn Radio and WEKU. Those of you here in the Central Kentucky area, be sure to check out Red Barn TV, our weekly program of music now on ABC 36 WTVQ. Red Barn Radio comes to you from our home, the Arts Place Performance Hall in downtown Lexington. We like to thank LexArts President and CEO Amy Sweetall for helping to make the production of Red Barn Radio possible. Our website has updates and further information on our guests and our program. We're on the web at redbarnradio.com. And now, folks, once again, please welcome back Josh Merritt to the Red Barn stage.
I want to thank you guys again for having me, man, and for everybody listening. You wouldn't believe what a
Thank you.
beautiful and very hospitable crew that you guys have here, man. This is wonderful, man. We've loved being here, man. This one's yeah, man. This last one's been with me a long time. This is called As Long As It's With You. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3,
can hold you till the end of time, girl, and that's a fact, yeah. I can walk you through your dreams, it's true. Or if you just need someone to stand by you. And I don't know just what you see in me, but I can promise you my love is free. I may not have a whole lot of money, a new Maserati or a ripped up body. May not always have the words to say. But sometimes this life is hard to chew, but across my heart my love is true. And nothing else can make me feel this way. Yes, and I'll do anything you want to do, as long as it's with you.
Oh no.
I can take you to the bluest shores. I can lay you down on some dark beach and make you scream for more. And I can kiss you like the movies do, and have Nicholas Sparks write one about me and you. Yeah, well, and I don't know just what you see in me, but I can promise you my love is free. I may not have a whole lot of money, a new Maserati or a ripped up body. I may not always have the words to say, but sometimes this life is hard to chew, but across my heart my love is true. And nothing else can make me feel this way. Yeah, and I'll do anything you want to do, oh, as long as it's with you. Hey. Listen, you can spend your whole life forcing some connection, but I don't have to try with you. Baby, that's love, I reckon. And I may not have a whole lot of money, a new Maserati or a ripped up body. May not always have the words to say.
No, no.
Sometimes this life is hard to chew, but across my heart my love is true. And nothing else can make me feel this way. Yeah, and I'll do anything you want to do, as long as it's with you. Yeah, as long as it's with you. Oh, skibbity-bop-bop, skibbity-bop-bop-bop-bop, yeah. Skibbity-bop-bop, skibbity-bop-bop-bop-bop, yeah. Yeah, man, thank you guys.
Woo! Oh, well, that's all for our show for this week. You can see and hear Red Barn Radio worldwide as we stream live on the web on YouTube and Twitch Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern in North America, and archived performances on Spotify. Also, be sure to check out our social media for updates to our upcoming schedule. And now, from all of us here at Red Barn Radio to all of our friends worldwide, it's our hope that you have a great week. Keep working together to be safe and healthy, and until next time, good night from Red Barn Radio.